Wife, it's not nice to let your mother go home without a present on your birthday. Why don't you give her the gold earrings your mother-in-law gave her? Sonia's eyes widened, and she was speechless with insolence, but she decided that the moment had come. She went out to the guests, smiled at her mother-in-law and said. Having adjusted the cutlery, Sonia took a couple of steps back from the table and sighed with satisfaction. Although it wasn't a restaurant, the table was in no way inferior. She had spent 3 days preparing and was now admiring the creation of her own hands. There were many dishes for every taste. Beautiful dishes, polished cutlery, small bouquets of fresh flowers and a cake in the center, which the woman had worked on all night. There was only one thing left, to prepare herself for receiving guests and celebrating, and then she could breathe a sigh of relief. Her husband came up from behind, put his arm around her shoulders. Sonia immediately relaxed and, throwing her head back on his chest, closed her eyes. Tired? He asked sympathetically, and she nodded. Yes, a little, but it was worth it. Look how beautiful it turned out. The man walked around the table with a critical look, scratched his beard, and folded his arms across his chest. I admit, you've outdone yourself. It really does look amazing. The guests won't believe that you did all this yourself. I'll say that I ordered it at a restaurant. He said jokingly and pushed his wife towards the bedroom. Go get ready, there's only an hour left. She spent this hour on herself, took a shower, did her hair, and dressed in a dress bought especially for this holiday. She really wanted to look her best on her birthday. Yes, that's understandable. This is the first name day she's celebrating as a wife. It was a little exciting, but at the same time the woman felt that she had done everything right and there would be nothing to find fault with. This was confirmed by Ruslan, who was still circling around the table impatiently and not stopping singing her praises. And yet she was worried about how her mother-in-law would react. This woman, one of all the invitees, was against celebrating her daughter-in-law's 30th birthday at home. In her opinion, Sonia's idea was stupid and energy-consuming. It's much easier, my dear, to go to a restaurant to people who specialize in organizing such celebrations, because no matter how hard you try, it won't turn out as tasty and high quality. You are not a cook or a decorator, and your apartment is not a Michelin establishment. And yet she decided to do it her own way, which caused a flurry of discontent and rude comments from her mother-in-law. Now I'm not at all sure whether it's worth coming to a feast in a stuffy apartment. Mark my words, Sophia. You yourself will regret not listening to my advice. The daughter-in-law did not remain silent. That's exactly the advice. You said it, I heard you. But it's up to me to decide what to do. If you don't want to come, no one is forcing you. Just warn me in advance, and I'll leave you a piece of cake. Such an open refusal infuriated the woman, but she couldn't think of an answer. But despite this, she did not refuse to come when Ruslan asked about it. Well, where would I go? Of course I'll come, she sighed, as if she were doing her son and daughter-in-law the greatest favor. Decided that she would go, but she would behave in such a way that Sonia would understand that she was unhappy, and let them put up with it, since they did not listen to a wise man. Well, and, of course, to stand out, the woman put on her best outfit and most expensive jewelry. And it didn't matter that the holiday was not hers, she would shine and attract attention. But when she had already sat down in a taxi, something unexpected happened. Halfway there, the car suddenly jerked strangely, hummed and stalled right in the middle of the road. The old lady overheated, the driver shrugged and advised to call another car. Having restrained herself so as not to be rude to him, the woman followed his advice. But this did not save her from being late for her daughter-in-law's celebration. When she arrived, the celebration had already begun. The guests crowded around the table, handing out gifts, but most of the talk was about the earrings that Sonia had received as a gift from her mother. No one even paid attention to Ruslan's mother. Of course, the woman was not going to tolerate such a careless attitude, so as soon as the conversation died down a little, she casually said, I see that you still followed my advice, ordered food and table setting from a restaurant. And which pastry shop did you order the cake from? Nade's, not the one in the center. The cream there is disgusting. The guests fell silent, and Sonia smiled. I made the cake myself, as did everything else you see on this table. But thank you, I am glad that you appreciated my efforts so highly. The mother-in-law gritted her teeth, but did not give up. And what is that in your ears? Jewelry? Yes, of course, she heard out of the corner of her ear that these earrings were a gift from her matchmaker to her daughter. But not to prick the daughter-in-law. How can you? Sonia touched her ears with her fingertips. These are Mom's. She was on vacation in Rome and brought them from there. Gold and topazes. Very beautiful, isn't it? Darling, it suits you. And when are we going to sit at the table, or did you set it just for beauty? Sit down, it's about time. We were waiting for you, after all. She felt her mother nudge her in the side, but jerked her head. Today she will not respond to her mother-in-law's jabs. This is her day, and she will spend it with pleasure. But does it really happen when someone is gnawed by envy and malice? No, that would be too easy. First, I would like to take off my cardigan and wash my hands. Son, please help me, Ruslan's mother asked and, looking like a queen, went into the next room. Daughter, why is she doing this? She always attacked Sophia's mother like that. Always. She just can't come to terms with the fact that we refused her idea to sell our apartments and buy one big one, but shared and lived together. So don't pay attention, Mommy. She barks, but doesn't bite. Meanwhile, a real show was unfolding in the kitchen. Polina Leonidovna was working on her son. Ruzechka, son, why would your Sonia wear such earrings? Her mother doesn't think with her own head at all. You almost never go to theaters or museums. Such jewelry needs to be walked around, shown to the world. Son, talk to Sonia, let her wear them and give it to me. After all, I'm not a stranger to you, and I'll be very pleased with such attention. And then I'll reciprocate by giving your wife something more casual. Ruslan couldn't refuse his mother, but he didn't know how to persuade his wife to do this either. Mom, I can't force her. How can I explain this? That you just wanted to? Maybe I should buy you similar earrings? No, that doesn't seem right. I want these ones. You saw that they would match the color of my eyes perfectly. Well, son, I beg you. Tell her that we have a tradition, like abroad, where guests are not allowed to leave a birthday party without a gift. Well, that does happen. So let Sergei give it to me. Okay, I'll think of something. The man waved her off and, returning to the table, soon found a reason to lure his wife out into the same kitchen. And as soon as she was out of reach of the other guests, he immediately blurted out. Mom is getting ready to go home. The wife shrugged. Well, let her go if she wants. Maybe she's tired. You could ask her if she should pack something to take with her, a cake or a salad? Ruslan shook his head. No, that's unnecessary. But it's not nice to let Mom go without a gift on your birthday. The woman was taken aback. Russ, what gift? What are you talking about? Actually, I'm the birthday girl here. Your mom didn't give her anything. And you're saying that now I should give her something? Why? So what? Well, because that's the way it's supposed to be. We have a tradition in our family, never let guests go without a gift. He pretended to think about it, and then raised his index finger. Why don't you give her those gold earrings your mother-in-law gave you? Mom liked them, but they don't suit you. Sonia's eyes widened at such impudence, but then, realizing where the roots were coming from, she first wanted to give her husband a dressing down, but then she thought about it and decided. The moment has come. She's had enough, she won't tolerate it any longer. So she went out to the guests, smiled at her mother-in-law and said, Ruslan just told me in secret that you have a gift for me too. Frankly, you surprised me. No, I'm touched. Such a sweet tradition, just like in the Middle Ages. To give your daughter-in-law family jewelry, take it off yourself. It's so generous. She extended her hands, folded in a boat, directly to her husband's mother. Frankly, I really like your pearls. I even tried to find and buy something similar, but, alas, nothing like that is sold on the market now. Thank you, Mom. Sonia didn't just say the last word, she shouted it out, calling her mother-in-law for the first time. She recoiled, opened her mouth, but did not say a word. Her gaze was riveted on her son and did not promise him anything good. Ruslan felt in his gut that things were bad, and tried to somehow wriggle out of it. Darling, but I told you something completely different. You probably misunderstood me, he mumbled, clinging to her hand like a drowning man to a life preserver. Sonia dropped her hands and looked at him with eyes full of resentment. What? That means I was wrong, and there will be no gift. She hid her face in her palms and muttered. God, how embarrassing. And I thought that since I had to give your mother my new earrings, she would give me jewelry too. After all, she didn't give me anything at all. You said traditions, and I got it all wrong. Everything. She played out her scene. The guests looked at Ruslan's mother and himself in bewilderment. The mother-in-law literally incinerated her son-in-law with her gaze. The mother-in-law blushed and didn't know where to hide from shame. Darling, she finally squeezed out very quietly. Ruzia probably didn't understand either. I just complimented your earrings, said that I would like the same ones. I didn't even think to ask her to give them to me. It just happened, a mix-up. And anyway, I was already getting ready to go home, so I'll go, and don't be upset. And she quickly retreated, forgetting about both her handbag and her cardigan. And when all the guests left, Sophia went up to her husband and, pointing her finger at his chest, said, Remember, this is the first and last time I forgive you and your mother. Next time I won't let her get away with her dirty tricks, but I'll shame her so much that she won't leave the house for a year. And you, my husband, I'll send her. You'll help her lick her wounds. I'll get a divorce and I won't feel sorry for you. Understand me? He backed away. Sonia, what's wrong with you? I'm just a mama's man, a henpecked husband. She sang in your ears, and you're happy. Don't disappoint me, Ruslan. Don't drive me to sin. I'm already on the edge. Your mother is already a pain in the neck for me. So don't risk it if you don't want to be single and free. I love you, but I love myself more. He pouted and went out onto the balcony. It was unpleasant that his wife was talking to him like a naughty child, and even threatening him with divorce. And all because his mother, thank her very much, knows that he can't refuse her and is taking advantage of her. Giving in to his emotions, he took his mobile out of his pocket and dialed his mother's number. Son, what is this your wife has put on? What kind of circus is this? Now she definitely has to give me those earrings as compensation for the inconvenience. And then something unexpected happened. Ruslan, who had never raised his voice to his mother before, shouted, She doesn't owe you anything. When will you calm down? That's it, you're not satisfied. You always want to, but in where you're not wanted. Why? To control me. Me and Sonia. Enough, Mom. Today I almost got fired because of you. And by the way, I love my wife. Keep that in mind at least once. Because of you, we'll quarrel, and I'll completely erase you from my life. Having spoken out, he hung up. His mother called, but he didn't answer. He returned to his wife, who, as it turned out, heard everything. You didn't close the door, she said and hugged him, realizing that their marriage still had a small chance to survive.